Do you ever feel like you're just not progressing in your art? Because I know that that's a feeling that I get sometimes too, and I think it's a really common feeling for artists. I want us to do an art exercise today, or an art activity, that doesn't involve painting. It instead involves reflection. So I've grabbed all of the sketchbooks that I've completed in 2025. I cannot believe that I completed all of these this year. And I want you to collect whatever you have, either the photos that you've taken, your pieces, or your sketchbooks, and go through each of them and actually pick your favorites and reflect on all the work that you've done this year. And that's exactly what I just did. I went through all of these sketchbooks, and while I show you my favorite pieces from in the sketchbooks, plus a few other things that I've done this year, I want to talk a little bit and reflect on what doing this type of an activity and what 2025 has meant to me, because without actually browsing through these and seeing the things that I struggled with and then the things that I succeeded with, I don't think that I would have really been able to see how much I grew as an artist, because that was one of the things I was really focused on in 2025. I had previously kind of felt like I was stagnating in my own art practice, and I felt like it was going to eventually get in the way of teaching, because if I'm not learning, it's really hard for me to teach people, and I needed to reconnect with learning myself. So I set myself challenges. I did things that scared me. Like you might see in here a painting of a building. Buildings terrify me, and there are actually a lot of paintings of buildings in these sketchbooks. I only picked the ones that were my absolute favorites. A lot of my favorite things that I did this year were things that scared me. The live painting, the sketching, painting some of the buildings, trying to work on getting a bit looser. I can actually see the progress when I take a look at everything I've done. Sometimes I sit down and I try to do one of these things, and it's really hard for me to see the progress that I've made in the moment. But when you actually take a look and reflect, that's one of the things I love about sketchbooks, is that they hold a memory. And I try not to take things out of my sketchbooks that are failures, because it is so nice to see the things that I was at one time struggling with and now might come a little bit easier to me. And if you're trying to improve your own art, several key things that you should really keep in mind. One, challenge yourself, because you might be better at something than you think you are. It might take a couple tries to get good at it, but the practice and the progress is going to be worth it. The second thing is that you got to make a lot of art. You don't need to make as much art as I do. I do this full time, but you need to make a lot for what your schedule allows, because that's going to give you the opportunity to actually grow in the practice in the ways that you want to. And third, don't forget to build in time for things that are just fun or silly, or things that make your brain feel happy. You'll notice that there are several patterns in some of my favorite things that I painted this year, and they're not necessarily hard or something that challenged me, but they did do something for my brain that allowed me the space to want to explore further and gave me the confidence to do things that scared me.